Hi everybody, this is Zach, and I'm showing you guys a little bit about the 2011 Volkswagen GTI. I just wanted to do a little, quick test drive kind of review sort of thing. This is my daily car. Right now about 87,000 miles on it, but I've had it just over a year and put about 20,000 miles on it. I bought it last April with 62,000 miles on it. It's my first new-ish car. I know a lot of people, buying brand new cars and stuff, but unfortunately we weren't able to do such a thing. This has always been a car that I've always loved. Ever since I drove one, I drove a Mark V first, and I kind of just fell in love from there. I've driven a couple other cars I really liked. Mini Coopers. For one, I really like how they drive, how small and compact they are. But this is just a little bigger, and we needed the 4 doors for sure. This is a 4-door model with the, it's in the candy white 4-door. It's not an Autobahn, so it doesn't have, all the fancy. Really, I was sitting next to a black one, and the only thing I could really see inside that was different was that it had one of those auto dimming mirrors in it, so I didn't really think that was a necessary option for us. So I wasn't really, upset about getting this version. I really don't care about the Autobahn. It's not a huge difference, I don't think. I know it's leather interior, I believe, but we ended up going with this car, and I did have it wrapped in an emerald gloss metallic pearl, which is a beautiful green color, but I actually just pulled that off Saturday morning because we were debating on getting another vehicle, a bigger vehicle, so I figured it was maybe a good time to do a review and let everybody know about this car. And these car seats, I have 2 car seats in here because we got 2 boys and we have a third on the way. We don't know if it's a boy yet, so we have a third child on the way. Hopefully it's a girl, but another boy is wonderful and a blessing as well. I got 2 car seats in here, and they are the smallest footprint car seats made on the market. They're the Diono R100s, and I know that's actually the cheapest model you can go with. And I think I got them for like $180 a piece from Albi Baby. Awesome place. Check them out if you're looking at these car seats because they're a great deal. But I'll probably do a review on those seats as well. But also my oldest, he's 3 years old. I'll probably see him around sometime if we get, into this whole YouTubing thing. But his car seat is forward facing, and his car seat actually ends where the GTI's car seat ends, like right where the seat ends, the car seat in the GTI ends. So it looks very clean. It looks like it was made for this car. And it looks incredible. And you could easily fit 3 of these car seats across the back here. Maybe if I get a moment, I'll show it to y'all. Right now I'm driving, so I can't do that, but I'm just trying to keep the mount straight. The mount's trying to move on me, but rear facing the car seats, they come out a lot. They do make a seat adjuster, so it picks it up some, and that's made by Diono as well. But anyways, back to this car. This model is a wonderful car for any parent or dad that wants kind of a fun car to drive. I would say it easily almost reaches every single level that you could possibly want in a vehicle. It's comfortable. It gets very good gas mileage considering that it's sort of a sports car. It's a refined hot hatch. But this white color is beautiful. I just, came to realize that again after taking the wrap off. But I got it in the manual. It is a 6-speed manual. I don't know if you could tell that I was shifting, but The automatic is very nice as well. It's been a long time since I had a manual. My old car was an 87 RX-7, and that was it was a turbo 2, and it was a very fun car to drive. And I just kind of missed that, and I wanted a manual again. So I decided that the next car I'd buy would be a manual, and preferably newer. I didn't want to, have the issues I had with the RX-7. I love the rotaries. I'll probably end up buying another one, maybe next year or so, but we'll see. Awesome car. But this GTI, I mean, 4 doors, wonderful for the family, tons of room. You wouldn't believe, we actually took a 13-hour road trip, which ended up being 21 hours on the road from Virginia to Mississippi. And we had 5 people in here. We had 3 full adults and the 2 kids. And we all rode very comfortably. We were a little cramped between the seats, but it wasn't that bad. It was pretty comfortable. What we actually did was we moved the 2 car seats together and to the center, and then one of us sat on the side by the door, and it was actually very comfortable. You had plenty of room to sit. We had the hatch completely stacked to the roof, full of luggage and toys for the kids and their pack and plays and such. But we actually didn't really use the pack and play that much. Our youngest kind of slept in it for our trip. We were about a week there. We actually ended up getting a flat tire on the way. And we changed this tire out probably 5 minutes after we unloaded the entire hatchback. We unloaded it all on the side of the road, took the tire out, and then went ahead and jacked the car up. Now, this car has one of the greatest jacks I've ever seen, and it's so easy to use on the side of the road. We had this car up, and I am not kidding you, we were unloaded the entire hatchback, took the tire off after we jacked the car up, put the other tire on, lowered the car, tightened the bolts, put the other tire in the trunk, and then we loaded everything back into the car in 10 minutes. Now, that seems unrealistic, but my brother and I are very, very proficient in cars, so we know what we're doing. So we could do it very quickly. He's a mechanic, and I actually grew up alongside him, and our stepfather was all about vehicles, so we grew up learning a whole lot about cars. So we can kind of figure out anything we need to. But this car, the only thing I've done to is I have put a diverter valve release on it. I think it's by Go Fast Bits, and I can't remember for sure, but it has this beautiful sound, and it's an awesome, it's like a blow-off valve. Like, listen, and you have this, and it makes the car very loud, but without having an exhaust. Now, I wish I could do an exhaust modification, but at this point, if we're going to get rid of the vehicle, it's not really worth it. Exhaust systems for this car are quite expensive, but other than that was like $60, and it's not a fake sound at all. It's just actually releasing the diverter valve to atmosphere instead of recirculating. Now, it doesn't hurt anything in the vehicle. It just turns that recirculation into release to atmosphere, and it makes a nice sound. Your typical blow-off sound. And earlier this year, we went ahead and did a coilover setup. So this is a little rougher ride than stock, but it's not bad at all. Sometimes there's a few bumps here and there where you can get pretty low, and I actually raised the car a little because it was very low before, and it would actually bottom out a lot. And I don't know about you, but bottoming out a lot kind of gets annoying. You have to drive very safely, dodging potholes. And this car was, engineered to be driven. It's not engineered to be driven slow. And it's just, I have one of the funnest roads to drive home from. And to have to slow down, because if I take one of these turns that are banked near my house, I will rub frame, and I was rubbing frame with the car lowered as much as it was. So now I've raised it back up, so it doesn't rub unless I'm doing, you know, a serious amount of speed around a turn. And I might even raise it a little more, but we'll see. It's actually pretty easy. Just, you know, I have to take the back tires off to lower the, or to raise the back, and then the same with the front. You know, take the wheels off, and then you have to jack it up and release. But we could potentially do a video on that as well, and my brother might be involved in that one, but we'll see. And we may even do some family videos, but I just wanted to give y'all a little review on this car. Amazing car to drive, awesome handling, and it has a wonderful response time. The boost lag's almost non-existent. As long as you know what you're doing and know how to drive it, there's not an issue. Now, if you don't know how to drive the manual in this car, then you're probably gonna have some issues. You're gonna figure it out. It's not that hard. The car has this interesting power band. It's about 2,800 to about 4,500, and then it kind of levels off. But that feeling when you hit the power band is a very satisfying feeling, especially on the interstate when you're trying to pass somebody, or you know, you need to get around somebody, or you're just trying to have a good time and drive. I mean, this is quite a fun car just to have fun on. If you want to, you know, have a car that you can have for a family and still have a little fun here and there by yourself, then this is definitely a great car for that. Now, we looked at the Mazda Speed 3s when we bought this car, and they were just, you know, real torquey, and the interior wasn't, you know, as near as wonderful as this interior. I mean, this has the plaid seating, it's not the leather, but it's very comfortable. I know the Mazda Speed 3s have a, I don't know, it's kind of like a Mazda 3 interior. I don't think it's much different other than the seating. Other than that, I mean, that's really all you're getting for all your money. You're just getting different seats, and they don't even look that good, honestly. I mean, the older Mazda Speed 3s are real nice. I think they look better inside, honestly, but there's too much red going on. This car kind of has an elegant feel to it. And you can kind of get a sense of Audi in here. I could show you a little bit around here. Let me flip this. Well, it won't let me. But let's see. Here we go. You see this door and everything. Now, I've done other modifications to this vehicle, but they're all through software. I've done a couple of features in VAGCOM. I have the windows programmed on my key remote so they can go up and down. Also the sunroof. I've also programmed the gauge to do like a sweep formation like a new vehicle would. And there's a couple other features you can do with these cars, and it's already built in. You just have to turn it on. I mean, it's pretty awesome that, you know, these are possibilities. On a lot of cars you don't get that option. You can't just, you know, tweak in the system to, you know, reprogram your, you know, daytime running lights or your fog lights. I can make them turn on with the high beams. I mean, you can't usually do that. Or I can make the fog lights activate when I turn, kind of like the xenon bulbs. This model didn't come with the xenon lights, so they don't turn when I turn. So that's one thing that this car doesn't have that I wish it did. And that was something we were looking at adding, but it ended up being, you know, in the thousands to change just the headlights, and that's just absurd. So just programming the fog lights to do turning, as well as, you know, like an emergency braking feature, like if you slam on the brakes, it's gonna flash your brakes really fast for you, so the guy behind you can get a bigger alert that you're stopping, like an emergency situation where you're slamming on the brakes, and that could help you potentially, and you may not even realize it. So this is Zach, and I am signing out. I will show you these car seats real quick, but I am gonna leave you to enjoy your day. Here you go. Look at this car seat. You see it? And now look where it ends. healthy, nice, clean